Welcome to step number 2 of Mrs. Rutter's Perimeter Crochet Kinky Twist. In this step, I will be showing you how to do the braid pattern for this hairstyle. To begin, you want to take your rat tail comb and section the perimeter of your head about 2 to 3 inches wide. This will serve as the hair that will be braided individually for your kinky twist. And then for more of the hair that's left inward on your head, you will be braiding all of that hair straight to the back in cornrow braids. I will show you how easy it is to link each individual cornrow braid into one another so that when all of your hair is braided, you only have one braid that hangs down. That braid will then be tucked right against the last cornrow braid, and then you will use your needle and thread to sew it down very flatly onto your braid pattern base. With this style, a couple of things you already have to know to achieve the look. You have to know how to braid kinky twist as well as how to do actual cornrow braids. All of this information, such as the Kinky Twist DVD and the Cornrow Braiding DVD, can be found on Howtoblackhair.com. So we will go on to doing our braid pattern as I show you how to prepare your hair for this hairstyle. Okay, so now the very first thing we're going to do is take our rat tail comb and begin parting about 2 to 3 inches of hair from the perimeter of our hairline. So this hair that you're parting here is what is going to be used to do traditional kinky twists. You just want to have just a little bit of hair so you can braid about 2 to 3 kinky twists at the perimeter of your hairline. And you're simply going to make sure you part pretty even around, and you're going to use about that much hair. So about this much of your section is what you're going to need to leave all the way around the perimeter of your head. Once you do that, you're then going to braid your edges or your perimeter hair into one continuous braid, so that way it doesn't get mixed in with the hair that's here at the middle of your head. You can use duck bill clips to keep the hair contained, just like that, or you can braid it. But once you do that, then the hair that's in the middle of your head will be braided straight to the back in cornrow braids, because that's gonna be your crochet braid pattern. So just continue to use your comb and part around the perimeter of your head to do the first step. So once you've parted your hair for your perimeter kinky twist, as you can see, I've braided the braid in a continuous circle. If you can't braid in a continuous circle, then use duck bill clips to keep your hair sectioned. Once your perimeter area has been sectioned off, now you're going to braid the rest of your hair straight back into cornrow braids. So I'm just going to remove the clip here that helped preserve my hair, and then I'm just going to use the end of my rat tail comb to part a cornrow braid here. Naturally, the braids on the edges will be just a little bit shorter because you're braiding straight to the back. And you want the braids on the edge to be a little bit shorter, just because when you're finished with your style, it helps that the kinky twists are laying more naturally rather than starting each cornrow braid right here at the top of your head. Allow your cornrow braids to gradually get bigger as you go up, and then start to get smaller as you go down on the sides. So for the first braid, I've already parted my section, and then you want to use your duck bill clips to help keep your hair sectioned as you're braiding. And then you're just going to braid straight to the back. Once you finish braiding your first braid, you go on to braid your second braid, and then you take the tail end of your first braid to braid into your second. And I will show you exactly how that looks, but for now, just focus on braiding your hair straight to the back in cornrow braids. To complete your braid pattern, I've left one braid undone so I can show you how when you braid your braids, you're going to continue to connect each cornrow into another, so that when you completely finish, you only have one braid that hangs down that you would need to sew down onto your braid pattern. So momentarily, I also wanted to stop to explain why you would need braiding hair. In step number 1, one of the supplies was to use a little bit of braiding hair to help you braid your braids. The braiding hair is perfect if you have thinning hair, thinning edges, or short hair. No matter if your hair is relaxed, transitioning, or natural, braiding hair makes your braids stronger, and it also helps to preserve weak or thinning hair. So on my hair, I did not need to use braiding hair. I could have if I wanted to, but I didn't need the extra bulk onto my braids to give me that security. But if you have shorter hair, or you're afraid that your braids will become fuzzy over time underneath your install, or if you have thinning hair, I highly suggest that you use braiding hair to add onto your real hair. So next I'm going to show you how to continue connecting your cornrow braids, and then how to sew your last braid down to complete your braid pattern base. So now I'm going to braid the very last cornrow braid, show you how to connect it to your final braid, and then how to secure that braid down to your braid pattern. So as you can see, I have hair here from my last cornrow braid, and I have one braid here even though I have multiple braids on my head. The reason why is because every time you braid a braid, you're going to connect it to this big braid, which continues on and leaves only one braid. And I'm going to show you exactly how that's done right now. So what I'm going to do is braid this cornrow braid and connect it here. So in the end result, I will have one final braid. If you want detailed instructions on how to cornrow braid with or without extensions, I highly suggest that you go to Howtoblackhair.com to purchase the Braiding DVD. So for now, I'm just going through braiding just to show you exactly how it's done when you're connecting each cornrow braid. You want to make sure to braid all of your real hair on this part, and then once you've done that, you're going to take your final braid and add it in as if it's additional hair, and just continue braiding. Once you braid all the way down to the ends, I'm going to show you how to use your needle and thread to secure your braids before you begin actually doing your style. So now I'm going to take my braid and I'm going to tuck it in between the space of my last cornrow braid and the previous one, right here in the space, just like that. And I'm going to start my first stitch here at the very bottom of both of the braids on my cornrow braid and my loose braid. So now I'm just going to grab my needle and thread that I've prepared, and I'm going to go underneath both braids. Pull through, and then I'm going to do my knotting technique. So once you locate your string, you want to open your string up. Then you want to go around with your needle once, twice, and pull through to create your first knot. Once again, go under both braids. Grab your string and do my same knotting technique once, twice, and pull through. Continue on until you've sewn the braid flat down against your head. So now just coil your last bit of hair here, just to make sure it's very tight and secure. Place it firmly flat down against your braid and sew your last stitch. So now the last thing you're going to do is cut your thread and your braid is finished. If it sticks up just a little bit, you don't have to worry about it, because as the style progresses, you will not see any thread or any knots on your hair. Once you finish the base of your braid pattern and unraveled your perimeter braid, this is how your braid pattern will look for the Mrs. Rutters Perimeter Crochet Kinky Twists. So now that your braid pattern is complete, in the next step, step number 3, I will teach you how to install your extensions step by step.